I also just got asked to be a mentor, and I was like, whoa, really? This
Oh,
is cool. All right. I didn't know that people want to hear, my advice and talk to me on that front, but I was like, all right, sure, of course I'll do it. Happy to do it. So it's,
I can totally see that you being a mentor, just being around you. You are so inviting and so positive that
oh,
I
thank you.
definitely see that.
Thank you so much.
I concur.
Yeah.
Welcome to this episode of The Diligent Leader Mastering Business. I'm Holly Basta here with my co-host.
Kaylee Jakovics, and we're excited for today's episode. We have Carrie Long, who is the Senior Business Development Representative of the Maryland Department of Commerce. Carrie, thank you so much for joining us today.
Good morning, and thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be part of the podcast.
Yeah, of course. And today's episode is talking about empowering small businesses in Maryland, and it's really getting those insights from Carrie and her role at the Maryland Department of Commerce. So let's go ahead and start. Carrie, I would love to hear a little bit about you, more on the personal side. Where are you located? What do you like to do for fun, family, things along those lines?
Yeah, I live in Anne Arundel County, and I've actually lived in Anne Arundel County my entire life. Raised here, I live here now with my husband and two children. I have a daughter who's about to be 17, and she's officially a high school senior. And my
Oh,
son is 14, and he's officially entered high school.
oh my
So
goodness. You
this
got
is
a lot
an
to handle.
exciting time.
Yeah, and you mentioned your daughter, she's driving now, so that's really
Just
exciting.
She just got her license and drove herself to work today, which is, nerve-wracking, but also very exciting and rewarding as a parent to makes you feel good about, feeling like you did all the right things.
Yeah, oh, and they're all
Yeah.
heavily involved in sports, and I know that's a
Mhm.
big world for you too, so very exciting.
Yeah, so we spend a lot of time at kids' sporting events. Our daughter plays soccer, and both of our kids swim. They're entering the summer swim season. And also, our kids are in scouts. So, my husband and I are actually assistant scout masters.
Oh,
We
very fun.
volunteer a lot. And I mean, for fun, kids love the beach. I mean, they're water kids. They love going to the beach. We are thrill seekers. We love going to amusement parks and riding roller coasters.
Oh, I didn't know
And
that about you.
oh, yeah, they're fun. And I think the highlight of our family is probably our two cats. I have to just plug them. Fiona and Keanu, our
Oh,
two cats. Can't leave them out.
I love that.
No, you have to. I mean, we're obviously animal lovers too,
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
we both have pets as well. So that's great. Thank you. Well, even with all that you have going on and a busy family life, tell us a little bit about your background and how you got involved with the Department of Commerce.
Sure. Thank you. So my background before becoming part of the Department of Commerce team, I had a background in banking. For over 20 years, I was in banking, primarily focusing in commercial lending. So I have quite a lot of experience with building relationships with our commercial clients. Um, and the community. So when I took this role at the Maryland Department of Commerce, transitioning to business development there, the part of uh, being connected with business community and building relationships with the businesses, it felt very comfortable transitioning into that role because I had already had a lot of that experience. All of the other pieces, is a learning experience. I'm still learning. I feel like I'm going to be learning every day about this job, but I really feel like building relationships and being part of the business community just was something I was always used to for so long.
Yeah, I feel like you're a natural at it too, because, obviously we've met at many networking events and, have done our ladies' lunches and all of that. So it's just very natural. You're obviously a leader in the community and the business world. So it's really exciting to see you thrive and, again, have you on for the diligent leader.
Thank you, and I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
So, can you give us more of an introduction to the Maryland Department of Commerce, sort of the mission, the vision, and its key functions for those who might not be familiar with what that agency does?
Sure. Yeah, the Maryland Department of Commerce is actually the state's primary economic arm develop, sorry, it's the state's primary economic development agency. We help create jobs, and we do that by attracting new businesses, encouraging expansion and retention of existing companies here in Maryland. We support by providing workforce training, financial assistance, to all of our Maryland companies. Uh, we key resources that we provide are like strategic location assistance. We have incentive programs. We support with workforce development, networking opportunities. As Kelly knows, we network often. Those are a lot of those are the main key uh, resources that we provide.
That's great. And I want to we can get into this a little bit more later, but I definitely want to talk to you and get some insights on how the nature of business and the way we do business and commerce here in Maryland changed during and then after COVID, because I think that it left a really big footprint on our business culture here and just the way we do everything from A to Z in business. And, you know, not that it was, I think it was an evolution, if you will. So I definitely want to get some insight on your thoughts on that.
Sure. Um, so I've been with the Maryland Department of Commerce for just about 2 years. So I started after the whole pandemic. So I really didn't get that experience of what my team was experiencing. But in my previous career, being part of the business community and working with businesses, it did affect businesses greatly. I mean, not just financially, but with workforce and just trying to stay afloat. And um, that part I can speak on with my previous career. But as of now, businesses are still they're still trying to recover, I think. I think they're doing well, but there is still a lot of businesses that are still trying to recover. I just think like workforce is a big issue. Plus, also it gave businesses a step back to see how are they operating in their business, what changes should they be making to support their staff. A lot of businesses realized, oh, we don't have to be in the office every day. We could be hybrid. We could provide more flexibility to our staff. So I see a lot of that
Yeah, I
as
think
far as the trends from before and after
right.
COVID.
Yeah, especially yeah, like with what you're saying with workforce and going
Mhm.
hybrid and I feel like it's been I know for it's much better now, but when COVID happened, it was a little difficult for us at Mojo, the company that I work for, to just hire people because not everyone wanted to come back into the office after COVID, or they wanted to be hybrid or fully remote. So it was chaotic, honestly, for a little while. It's finally like calmed down now, and we're back to like normal hiring and things. But again, we're remote now, so there's a lot more opportunity there. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but businesses still want to have that in-person feel in
absolutely.
touch with their team. I mean, it creates collaboration, being one-on-one, face-to-face. There's just something different about that. So, but I think it gives a nice flexibility that a business can provide to their staff.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So I guess we want to go learning a little bit more. I know you touched a little bit on some of the programs, the initiatives that you have specifically for a small business, but is there, anything coming up? Is there anything that you want to share with the business community that will be able to help them with any resources? And tell us, do a little bit deeper dive, if you will.
Yeah, so let me share a little bit more about my role. So I'm
Yeah.
the Senior Business Development Representative for our regional retention team. And our team is consists of a business development representative that covers every county in the state of Maryland. So I support our businesses here in Anne Arundel County, but there's someone on my team that supports businesses in every county of the state. Um, we assist by providing access to commerce programs, services, and that's wherever your business is located. And we assist companies of all sizes that are looking to expand their markets, their workforce, even their physical expansion, and networking. And we have uh, financial incentives, whether it be um, lending, uh, tax incentives, or grants. And I would definitely suggest learning a little bit more about commerce. You can visit our website,
Hmm.
um, uh, and it'll tell you more about commerce, our financial incentives, and it also has a little link to events and a calendar of things that are happening.
Okay, and
But
I just have a quick
sorry.
question too. So you're primarily Anne Arundel County, but let's say if someone is in Howard County and they're looking for these resources or programs, would I direct them to you? And then there's the other couple members that can help them for certain counties. Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay.
So I'm always happy to talk to any
Hmm.
business, whether it's in Anne Arundel County or not. If they're not in Anne Arundel County, I'm just going to introduce them to my colleagues.
Okay. Perfect.
I think that obviously you could go to our Commerce's website and you can find all of our information, but I'm happy to talk to you. I'm happy to make that personal introduction, that one-on-one introduction that you can get instead of just emailing, the business rep for that county. That way it comes from, a teammate.
Yeah, absolutely. And for the audience that's listening, like Carrie is very, as you can tell from what we've heard so far, just very inviting and happy to help really with anything. So,
Yeah,
I
and
am.
I had another question for you too, because you talked about the importance of networking. And I'm curious from, the business perspective, because I know that not everyone is sort of comfortable with going out and going to these events or meeting people that they're not familiar with for the first time and sort of giving their elevator pitch about their business, but talk a little bit about the importance of making those personal connections that you spoke about. Because I think that for a lot of businesses, those personal connections and personal introductions have a greater impact for them in the long run.
They do. So community and networking is really important for any business of any size. Um, when you network, it allows small businesses to share their resources and information, and it allows them to share their best practices, vendor recommendations, market insights. It's a support system too. When you network, you meet other businesses in your industry or even other industries, and it really you find other businesses that can provide emotional and professional support. You could share your experiences and successes. We find that a lot of businesses really thrive off of that by supporting one another. We actually make a lot of business to business connections for that very reason. Um, it's we'll give just an example. If you're like in the health industry, we'll make business to business connections in that industry. There might be something that a smaller business or a business that's just starting out could seek advice from a business owner that's been in that industry for a while, and it's very valuable to do that. Um, but I also feel like it also creates mentorship and learning. Um, you can network and find a business owner that's been doing something for a really long time, and they could be their mentor, and really just teach them a lot, show them a lot, and provide guidance.
now are you a mentor or a mentee, or do you have any mentors yourself?
I think right now I'm probably a mentee.
All right.
So, my direct manager, Lori Ratzberg, I would say is my mentor. And she has been for a really long time, even before I started with the Maryland Department of Commerce. She's been a mentor to me. and still is and probably always will be.
Very nice. Thank you for sharing. I have two mentors right now, and so I'm being mentored, which of course it's always for leadership. You want to continue learning, growing,
Hmm.
and I also just got asked to be a mentor, and I was like, whoa, really? This is cool. All right. I didn't know that people want to hear, my advice and talk to me on that front, but I was like, all right, sure, of course I'll do it. Happy to do it. So
I
it's,
can totally see that you being a mentor, just being around you. You are so inviting and so positive that
oh,
I
thank you.
definitely see that.
Thank you so much.
I concur.
Yeah. I feel like, I mean, you are as well. I've already said that. It's like, I can,
Well, thank
I
you.
get, and like, I would call Jill Porter, which we had her on a previous episode, probably
Mhm.
one of your power partners and friends as well. But I feel like I can go to either of you at any point in time with any questions. So maybe you're kind of also my mentor because it's like,
Oh, thanks.
I can go to you with personal or, business, not issues, but, you know, concerns, and you guys will always help guide me in the right direction, whether it's telling me some advice or like, oh, we have a resource for that. I'm like, okay,
That's
anything I need. So
Yeah, and even though I'm not a business owner,
yeah.
the that community and networking is important to me too.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
j- Speaking of Jill Porter, we bounce things off of each other all the time. She is a huge supporter for me. There are times where I'm just drawing a blank at things and I can't, and I need some type of support, and I'll just give her a call and we talk it out, we come up with a plan, we find those resources that that company needs. So I need community and networking. So
Right.
it's not just business owners. I think a lot of people need that support.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we kind of shift more into learning more about the commerce and programs
Mhm.
and leadership and development, I just want to ask another question. I mean, are there any groups that I know you're probably heavily involved as, senior business development, but any networking groups, associations that you recommend or that typically go to on the regular?
Yeah, so I attend many, networking events with different organizations. But I'll share that when I when I recommend an organization to a business, I like to talk to the business. What is their industry? What are they doing? And then I will lead them to a local organization that's going to fit their needs and be the best networking or best organization to support them. So, for instance, and you attend to the BWI Business Partnership, which is a phenomenal organization that is supporting businesses of all industries in the BWI area and beyond. I meet a lot of people there, a lot of businesses there, and they are just very supportive to the community. And I know you
I
probably
second that.
agree with that. Also, we are heavy in the government contracting arena.
Hmm.
So our Fort Meade Alliance organization is a really strong partnership. I attend events and network there, and also those businesses that are doing government contracting. We recommend the Fort Meade Alliance often. It's a great support system for those businesses in that industry. The Maryland Tech Council, that is another organization that is supporting technology and bio life sciences. They have a Chesapeake chapter, which is for the Anne Arundel County area. And they have wonderful events, networking, and a support system too. It's great connecting there. Um, and let's see, those are probably my top three.
Okay.
Um,
No, thank you. That's
yeah,
great. Thank you for sharing.
yeah.
And kind of moving back into kind of the support for business.
Mhm.
Um, of course, you said all size business can come to you and, come to
Mhm.
the Department of Commerce, but I want to focus mainly on small business. I guess so, there's new business, there's small business coming up. What are you finding like some of the most common challenges when they're coming to you for some support? Like what does that look like? What is their biggest struggles or challenges that they need to overcome or need support for?
Yeah, I think that probably when I'm meeting with a business, probably the number one challenge is workforce. It seems to be across the board, the biggest hurdle.
Right.
And so what I do there is when I hear a business has a workforce challenge, I'm pulling in my partners. I'm pulling in the Maryland Department of Labor. I'm pulling in internal workforce development to support those businesses. Whether it's helping them find that talent that they need or a program to support their workforce training needs. Um, that is the biggest challenge. I think another challenge is uh, marketing and getting their name out there, which kind of goes back to networking. When you're a small business and you're starting out, you want people to know who you are. Well, you got to get out there and you got to meet people, market your business. And then when you partner with those local organizations, some that I mentioned, as well as all of the chambers, and I didn't mention, but all of the chambers that are in Anne Arundel County, you attend those events, you market your business, you meet potential customers, you meet other businesses to collaborate with. And I think maybe another challenge is the technology that is always changing all the time. So keeping up with the technology, there's costs related to, getting certified for certain technologies or bringing technologies into your business. That is a challenge as well.
And thank you so much for that. I'm also interested for small business owners in understanding, you know, what qualities do you think it takes in today's business climate for success? Because I think that a lot of, like you said, a lot of people have a great idea. They have a solid business or a solid thing that they're doing, service that they're providing, but they don't have all of the components to put the puzzle all the way together, like missing a marketing element or something like that. As a leader, knowing those factors, what's your best advice for a business owner or someone thinking about starting a business, before they get started, or if they're just getting started?
Yeah, I think having a clear vision and a long-term strategic plan is really important. So you want to kind of have that in place, kind of know what your goals are. And then, having once you start your business, having a, effective communication. You want to make sure that you are clear and transparent with your employees and your customers and your suppliers, stakeholders. And definitely leadership and team building is really important. You want to inspire and motivate your employees. Building a positive work environment, I think, is really important, which helps with your workforce, retaining your staff. Um, I think those are probably some of the top um, things I think a business owner, as far as leadership, that they should try to work towards.
So you're saying essentially that the leadership component should be part of their business plan up front.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah, I love
Okay.
that.
I like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, because I don't think that that's something that most people would consider
No,
as part
not
of
at
their
all.
plan. Like,
Yeah.
how am I going to lead this team? How am I going to empower my employees? How am I going to inspire them? All the
Yeah.
things that you've
You,
laid out.
right. And you need your staff in order to have a successful business. So that definitely should be part of your plan. Yeah.
Yeah. Are there any I guess programs that you guys offer that you know of to help develop leadership skills?
Hmm. To develop leadership skills. Well, We do have, I would like to talk about some incentives that we do have, but
Yeah,
to just see
please.
about developing leadership skills. We do have a program called Partnership for Workforce Quality, which for short PWQ. And it is a matching training grant to support upskilling your staff. Um, and it's for like small to mid-size businesses. We typically target the manufacturing and technology industry. But that is important to provide the training that your staff needs to well want to make your business more successful because you're upskilling your staff, which is just making them stronger, being able to do their job efficiently, but also you're providing a way to retain your staff too. You're saying, "Hey, you're very valuable to me. I'd love for you to take these courses. I want to upskill you, which could, possibly come with a promotion." And so we here at the Department of Commerce, we want to help with that by providing a matching grant for any of that training. So I think that kind of is a program that we have that could support with leadership.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess how does a business qualify for that type of grant?
Well, it all starts with just reaching out to me first. So we just need to have a conversation, talk, learn a little bit more about your business. What is the training that you're looking for? And then we take it from there. We talk about the training, see if it's an eligible training that's, qualifies under the program. And then we just move forward from there if it's an eligible training.
Yeah, I love that. And of course, you don't have to name specifics, but I'm curious, are there any like success stories or anything that you can share in regards to what the Department of Commerce has helped, support some of the small businesses with that you've seen, growth or, the resources that you provided?
Yeah, I'd love to mention the VLT program that we
Hmm.
have, which is the Video Lottery Terminal. It's actually a loan program, and it's designed for the small minority women-owned business, and proceeds from Video Lottery Terminal is used to finance those small minority women-owned businesses. And we have many small businesses that have used this program to start their business, to expand their business, to build out a space. There are many uses for the program. It's phenomenal. So what we do is we have fund managers that are across the state. Internal Economic Development happens to be one of our fund managers. So if any small business that qualifies, can reach out to AAEDC and have a discussion about the VLT program. That is a phenomenal program. Again, many businesses have used the program and been very successful. Um, we recently announced um, the awardees of a program that we had a second round called Manufacturing 4.0. And the program was designed for small to mid-sized manufacturers. And it's to help bring in that 4.0 technology into their manufacturing facility. So there were four businesses in Anne Arundel County that were awarded funds, which was very exciting. And those funds make a difference. They really help those manufacturers um, uh, upgrade their technology. That's where we're going today is, all of the high technology, 4.0 technology. That is where we're headed. So these manufacturers need to implement that. So I was very excited about that program. Um, and we've had many businesses take advantage of the PWQ to upskill their staff.
Hmm.
That's been very successful. Other programs that we have that I'd love to mention
Yes, please.
are our Export MD program. And helps offset cost for any business that's looking to market internationally. Um, we have a whole international team here in the Maryland Department of Commerce. So if you are a business and you're thinking, I want to attend this trade show because I'm interested in marketing internationally, uh, reach out. I want to connect you with one of my colleagues to talk about the program. as well as providing support internationally. I think that that's a
That's
really cool
Yeah,
program.
that's very exciting.
Yeah.
I know that my boss was interested in that, and I know that we've also used some other, resources from you in the past too. So thank you for sharing. And as we're kind of wrapping up, we've got a couple more minutes. But are there any other resources, programs that you'd like to share with the audience?
Yeah, I'll share a couple more. We have a research and development tax credit. So if you're a business that's doing a lot of R&D, they possibly could qualify. If some of their R&D expenditures qualify,
Hmm.
there could be a tax credit there. We have the Employer Security Clearance Cost Tax Credit Program, and this is for those businesses that might be in the government contracting space. It could provide an income tax credit for expenses related to federal security clearance costs. And we have by Maryland Cybersecurity, so for short, BMC. And it can provide a tax credit for the purchase of companies that are purchasing cybersecurity goods, products, or services. It's really important today that every industry is putting those cybersecurity measures in place to protect their business. And we want to support businesses by providing a tax incentive. And I will say that these programs, we have other programs as well, but I would reach out to me, send me an email. Let's get on the phone. Let's meet in person. Let's have a Zoom meeting. I want to learn more about your business. I want to really dig in and see what your future is and how can we support that growth and expansion and what kind of support can I provide, whether it's our programs or connecting you with, the Small Business Development Center or Anne Arundel Economic Development or Anne Arundel Workforce. Um, I'm here to support your business.
Yeah, this is why I love the Maryland Department of Commerce and Anne Arundel Economic Development Corporation and many others that are out there to help, economic growth and to support the state. And it's just like this abundance of resources. So I'm so glad that you're able to share all of that with us and the audience today, because I always learn something new. There's another program, there's another resource. So it's crazy how much that you're there to, the department's there to support the community. So.
And just so you know, I'm always learning something new every day too.
Yeah, yeah.
Because not just our programs, there are programs that are across the state that I'm trying to keep up on and provide to our businesses. I mean, Commerce has programs, but other departments have programs, and I just want to share them. I just want to make sure that our businesses know about them and that they could take advantage of them because the goal is to help our businesses grow and thrive.
Of course.
Yeah, I would imagine that many business owners don't even know that these programs exist or that there's any sort of assistance for them. So it's always good to bridge that gap for folks and help them with resources. So, again, I just wanted to give you a chance to plug the website again so that people can go and check out some of these fabulous programs that are offered by the Department of Commerce.
Yeah, I would just go to the Maryland Department of Commerce website. Within that page, there are a couple tabs that you can flow through. One is going to be about commerce, and you're gonna learn all about commerce, the departments within commerce, and the support that we provide. And then there's a tab for our financial incentives that's going to provide all of our tax incentives, grants, and financial assistance. And then there's a tab for news articles and events, and there's a calendar on there that will keep you up to date on what we have going on. And I would like to plug that the Maryland Entrepreneur Hub is a phenomenal page where any entrepreneur, small business can go to find a lot of other support that we talked about, like networking, community events, um, financial resources. It's a wealth of knowledge.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
or
so much.
contact Carrie directly. So
Yes.
we'll make sure
Have
to
that conversation.
share your information. And we
I
want
think
to,
it's always best to reach out to
yeah,
me and let's chat.
yeah, you'll get them to the right place, the right person. So,
Well, I love how she just made it seem so simple. Like, let's just have a
yeah,
conversation.
yeah, so
Just,
inviting,
let's
just
just
nice.
connect or we'll meet for coffee or we'll have a WebEx. Like,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah.
So,
And that's
because I
exactly
think,
how it starts, is just meeting and having a conversation.
right. And I think that just that level of sort of comfortability that I sensed from you when you say, just call me. I really felt like I could just call you. So sometimes I think, as
Thanks.
for business owners, they're probably, not sure and maybe, a little, I don't want to say discouraged, but a little, just it can be a little scary to sort of reach out for help. So
It
thank you for
is.
making it seem like it's something that's attainable.
Yes.
Yeah, and just to share, I met with a business one time and shared all of these resources, connections, networking, and he said, "What's the catch?" And I said, "There is none. This is my job. I'm here to
Yeah.
help you. I love
Such
it.
such a
I
great
gain
job.
nothing from this except seeing you thrive, that you see in your business thrive. So don't be afraid. That is what we're here for. That's why we exist to support our businesses in the community."
Well, and it sounds like also their success is your success.
Oh yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely is. It
Well, thank you,
makes me
Carrie.
proud.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, thank you so much. I love to hear that. So, thank you for joining us again today and for being the leader, the influence, the support that you are in the business community. Looking forward to seeing you around again, of course, out and about in the networking world. And again, thank you for sharing all these insights and resources. So, we appreciate having you on.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it, and this was a lot of fun.
Thanks for joining us for today's episode. I'm Kaylee Jakovics, and please make sure to like, follow, and subscribe for more.
And don't forget, you can also send us ideas if you have some topics that you'd like to hear us talk about or someone that you'd like to see us interview, send that in to us as well. So I'm Holly Basto, and thank you so much for joining us for this episode of The Diligent Leader Mastering Business. See you next time.